Hello and welcome back to Rita Ready Set Go, where we're talking about anything from the arts, film, books, all the way to travel, to getting ourselves together physically, mentally, whatever it takes to get us up ready, setting and going. That's what I want to talk about on this channel. So today I'm going to talk about my trip to Memphis, Tennessee. So one year we took a road trip to Memphis, Tennessee, because we noticed that in the news there was a whole lot of information being put out there about the imagery of African Americans, and honestly it didn't feel good to see what was being said in the news. So what we did was take it upon ourselves to take us somewhere out to visit some things that would empower us and make us feel the way in which we still could feel part of a community in which it was erupting and busting at the seams. And so what we did is took about a 4.5-hour road trip down to Memphis, Tennessee. But when we got there, we stopped immediately at the National Civil Rights Museum, the Lorraine Hotel. And it was a very great experience. If you ever get the chance to go to Memphis, there's so many other things to do once you get there. I know it seems like a smaller city. However, if you are able to travel there specifically to see the National Civil Rights Museum, that's going to take up, like, you want to allocate at least a half a day. But you can easily spend a whole day there, because if you're a type of person who likes to read every single solitary thing, it's going to be a whole day for you. But if you're a person who kind of glide through the experience, it's going to be a half a day. So my suggestion would be, depending on how you like to travel, if you're going to spend the previous night there, wake up and eat breakfast and then head over, and then afterwards go eat lunch or early dinner. As far as what we did, we drove into the city, went directly to the museum. So if we left at about 6 o'clock in the morning and got to the museum about 11, and we did the museum till about 3-ish or 4-ish, and we had like dinner. It might have was about 5 o'clock, and we each had different meals. I went and got a snack because I couldn't hold on anymore. So I went to the 99-cent Soulfood Express on the back side of the museum. It's in between the part of the museum that's across the street. It's over by the I Am a Man mural on the back of the wall. It's a 99-cent soul food where the side dishes are 99 cents and the actual entrees have a cost associated. But at that time I was vegan, or not necessarily vegan, but I was going in between vegan and vegetarian. So I just got all sides. And I went on and snuck and got some mac and cheese, but that's neither here nor there. And yes, to me it was good. I had the mac and cheese, the stuffing, the cabbage, and the green peas, I believe. And all of it was like, I went back and got another second round. Whenever we left, my brother and my sister ended up going to, and I'm gonna pull SOB South Main, which is a gastropub. And I'm gonna insert pictures. They actually got a full entrees of catfish and desserts and all of that good stuff. And I'll insert some pictures. And it was a good time. And so from there, we basically did the National Rights Museum. And what would I suggest about the experience? I would say you may want to approach it as if you were headed to, I hate to say it like this. Okay, it's a learning. Okay, so there's several parts to the museum, and it's a learning experience. But the very first exhibit, like from the moment you get there to the time you finish, is a learning piece. And the very first learning piece that you learn is the actual slavery exhibit. You see the slavery exhibit, and within there, you're actually taken through a simulation. Like you get to see the slaves as they're stacked on the bottom of a ship, and they're stacked life-size statues. And then there's like a woman being sold with her baby, and there's like a sound around the room, and you're gonna be able to hear that. Then there's documents all around the room that you wouldn't want to read, kind of like how I have my paintings and stuff on the wall, but it's like things that you're learning along the way. And then you go into each exhibit is something. So it may be an exhibit about like the Green Book, like how if you wanted to travel or do a road trip, the hotels that it would stay safe for African Americans to stay at. Then there's an exhibit about like each room was something. Like Brown versus Board of Education was dynamic to me. The actual school bus bombing, the Freedom Fighters was an exhibit. Then you have actual Rosa Parks, a simulation of her bus. So everything was great. And then you actually get don't forget to go to across the street. There's a museum based on the shooting. But once you get towards the end of the Lorraine Hotel and into the hotel, it's like going to a funeral for Martin Luther King. So I would say keep that in mind, like how your attire is. Like for me, I wore t-shirts and jeans. Had I known that the end of the museum was an actual kind of like ode to Martin Luther King, or a not inaugural, but funeral procession type thing, I would have dressed in, like, I would have worn, like I have on a black dress now, I would have worn this, just so because like when it comes to funerals and things, like I feel compelled to honor the individuals in which we are commemorating. So I would have dressed up more, but you don't have to. It's just I would have, just because I know me. So, but other than that, yes, and don't forget to go across the street. There's another museum that takes you through the actual shooters information, and it'll also make you kind of reopen some of the conspiracy theories, because some stuff to me wasn't matching up, but that's just my personal opinion. All right, and so after that, like I said, we ate. Half of us went to 99-cent Food Express, and half of us went to the SOB on Main and had some food, and then we headed over to the Triangle in Memphis, which is basically a bass sporting goods shop. It's called the Great Pyramid of Memphis. That was a fun, exciting thing, because inside of, although it's a sporting goods shop, they actually had like fish in the pond and inside the store, and then they had like RVs, and not RVs, but those little four wheelers, I think. Like, it was just a fun little adventure, and you can go up to the top of the pyramid, but that's an extra charge. And that's pretty much it. And then once we finished that, we went and bought some food to put in the cooler to take back to my mom, and that was our day, because 4 hours of it was getting into the city. The other 4 hours, it was like, it was an awesome journey, and so I would definitely encourage you to go check out Memphis. Some notable mentions is, if you go, I would say also check out Stax Museum and also the Cotton Exchange. Those are 2 museums that I plan on checking out in the near future, because I didn't get a chance to see those while I was there, because we were packing in too much. All right, so anyway, so make sure you stay ready, get ready, set, and go. Bye-bye.